Let's talk about a couple more headlines. We got another one coming up. You picked this one
This
from
is my
The
favorite.
Verge.
My favorite of the whole episode.
I'm just going to read the headline, then we can go from there. The headline is, GM is reportedly only making about 12 Hummer EVs per day. Okay. Interesting.
That's rough.
number.
That's rough, man.
Okay, so in the beginning, so we've heard whenever we talk about manufacturing, you have to like ramp up manufacturing, right? So you start at a low number and then you ramp up to high. So they're not going to be making 12 a day forever. They're going to start at 6 a day, then 12 a day, then 50 a day, then 100, then 300. So at this point right now, they're at 12 a day. It might take a while if they only do 12 a day for a while.
Do you want me to like give the reason for it first, or you want to dunk on them a little longer?
No, is there a reason? Do we know?
Yeah, pretty much it's that right now they have to rely on all their batteries from LG while their battery plants are being built, which should be coming up pretty soon. And obviously they should be producing far more. But like if we want to just pretend, like let's just stick on the 12 number. For comparison, Rivian's making about 30 to 40
a day.
EVs a day. So I'm assuming that's just R1T though, because R1S I don't think is in production yet. We were just trying to figure that out this morning because we're seeing videos of it start to pop up.
Reviews of the R1T of the R1S just went live, which leads me to believe you are going to start seeing them on the road.
I do think so,
but I think it's still mostly R1T by volume.
Okay. And the Ford, I don't know if they're just like memeing here, but they are making 150 F-150 Lightnings a day, which I mean, I think we all kind of saw Ford doing that because the F-150 is pretty much an already built truck, where the Hummer EV is the Hummer EV, the gargantuan whatever that is not already a body on something. Okay, but I just like found some other. Oh, also, if they were to continue shipping at 12 a day, it would take 17 and a half years to deliver to everybody on the wait list.
Yeah, they got to ramp it up.
That's fantastic.
By the way, 150 F-150 Lightnings doesn't sound like that much either.
It doesn't sound like that much, but they also just started delivering like a month ago, right?
Right. So they're going to ramp up. They'll probably aim for
I would assume
300 a day, then 1,000 a day.
I believe so. We talked about it a few weeks ago, but I think batteries are also a limiting factor there. And they're opening a new plant in Georgia.
Okay.
I believe. I think batteries are going to be the thing that's going to limit pretty much everybody for a while. But
cars are hard to make. Right
exactly. But in this article, there's just one other fun fact that I found about the Hummer EV, which I think has been out for a long time, but I don't know how I missed it. But the Hummer EV battery, just the battery, weighs as much as a Honda Civic.
Just the battery weighs as much as a Honda Civic. How big is doesn't the Hummer EV have like I guess it is massive, but isn't it like 180 kilowatt hour battery or something crazy?
Funny enough, when I was looking, I didn't see the exact spec. I do know it's 2,923 pounds for just the battery.
The battery that's heavier than some entire sports cars. Like the lightest sports cars are about 2,900 to 3,000 pounds.
That's awesome. The whole Hummer EV is 9,000 pounds. For reference, the F-150 Lightning's 6,500 pounds. So if you took the battery out of the Hummer EV, it would weigh a little bit less than an F-150 Lightning.
The Hummer is basically a small tank again.
That thing is going to be on the roads with people.
9,000 pounds. I guess, okay, on one hand, what's the difference between a 6,000-pound truck hurling at you and a 9,000-pound truck hurling at you? But on the other hand, brakes, like that's a lot of mass to be thrown around. Wow, and that thing accelerates too, like a normal EV. It accelerates
fast,
pretty quickly. 9,000 pounds. Oh my god.
Yeah. So Hummer EV, I'll be okay if it stays at 12 a day because if I'm being honest, I'm scared to be on the road with them. I've said that many times.
What else weighs 9,000 pounds?
That's a good question. Can you think of something off your head and I'll fact check it?
Okay. Something that weighs 9,000 pounds, a bison, fully grown bison. Seems like it might be more, actually.
I think it's less.
Really?
Oh, no. A male adult, 1,000 to 2,200 pounds. Damn, bison.
Bison's only 1,000 pounds?
A small one.
Oh.
They can get up to 2,200 pounds.
Adult yak. I should Google adult yak weight. Only 1,200 pounds. All right. I was pretty off. It's about 8 yaks.
It's 8 yaks.
In case you were wondering. Yeah, no, I'm expecting to see all of these slowly ramp up. I think they're all going to have low volume numbers as you mentioned, it's hard to make cars right now. Not only just the batteries, but like the computers, the chips inside, the parts, the pieces, the materials. So, yeah, these are the companies that we expect to be good at ramping up scale. Ford, GM, they know how to make cars quickly.
Yeah.
Rivian, Tesla, the startups, we have to see what they end up doing because they have to prove that. I guess Tesla's proven it. But
Tesla's proven it. Rivian has a lot to prove.
Yeah.
And then, like, I guess on the other hand, like we've said before, is like Ford GM has to prove right now the battery ramp up is where they have to prove it because like their production factories know what they're doing. Their assembly lines know what they're doing.
The Gigafactory was a real good idea.
Remember when it was in a tent?
Yes.
That still blows my mind.
That's when we shot that interview with Elon is we did the Model 3 and Model Y. Or sorry, they were doing Model S and Model X in the factory, and they were cranking out 3 and Y from a tent next door.
Tent.
That was a...
I like go outside today and then imagine people working in a tent doing that. Those, I mean, I guess there's a lot of robots, but like...
Some air conditioning,
it's
maybe.
Hot. Yeah. Okay, next thing on our list, I have Tesla scans for potholes and can adjust vehicle suspension to avoid damage. So this is a potential update coming up. And I'm going to read one of the notes really quickly because I'm having a hard time figuring out what it does. Even though that sounds like really obvious, right? Mm-hmm. Scans for potholes, adjust suspension to avoid damage. So release notes, the update will be, why does it just say 2022?
It's a new software version.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And it says, we'll be able to scan ahead for potholes and adjust the suspension according to rough roads. But it does also say this adjustment may occur at various locations subject to availability as the vehicle downloads rough road map data generated by Tesla cars. So I can't tell if this is scanning and when it sees a pothole adjusts, or if it is always scanning, sending data back to Tesla, calling a road or like putting a road as a rough road in Tesla's data. So now when any Tesla goes over it, the suspension just changes.
The second one.
Okay.
So right now, the air suspension in a Model S and Model X, they can adjust in real time, but it's like a 1 or 2 second thing as it's happening. So if you come up on a pothole at highway speed, it's not like you can just see it and adjust. That's not happening. But as of right now, there are a couple things that the cars already do. I remember a couple years ago saying this in a video, and it really blew people's minds, where if I have a steep driveway and I pull up to my driveway and I go, you know what, I'd like to raise the suspension to not like scrape. I raise the suspension, pull in the driveway. Every time the car gets back to that GPS location, it goes, last time you were here, you raised the suspension, and it does it again automatically. And so it starts doing that, and there are parts of the highway that I notice where I'm driving where I don't even ask it to, but I see a little message saying, raising the suspension for comfort. And it's a rougher section of the road. So I believe it's already doing a rough something like this where cars are driving around all the time and they're collecting tons of suspension data, and you can see that live data. Like you go over a bunch of potholes in a row, like you can see it on the diagram in the car. And so, yeah, it will decide to raise and lower the suspension when that happens. So I suspect for all of the cars in the fleet, now there's data all over the world for rough roads. I don't know if it's visually scanning for actual potholes. Like that.
I think it is scanning for potholes and sending that data back. And then in the future, when that road becomes, that is when it'll adjust the suspension.
Yeah.
So
I like the phrase scanning for potholes implies visual, but it could easily be scanning for potholes with the suspension data.
It could be doing it a bunch of different ways. When I read that headline, though, I imagine like laser beams going across the road and being like,
that's what they want you to
pothole,
picture.
Fix yourself really quick. It does say that there was some rumor that there may be a 3D mapping with obstacle avoidance in the future, which would be more rather than change the suspension, but get you away from a pothole if you miss it.
Okay.
Those ones sneak up on you. I think overall, this is cool. Maybe not as cool as the headline makes it sound, but also if at any point that suspension change can help you not get a flat tire or something like once, I think it's super worth it. Carney's the worst. If Tesla wants to full-blown test this,
if you want to test
they should
it,
drive it around.
We got a road.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Actually, you might be doing a ton of data back to
I've sent plenty of information to the fleet.
Exactly.
For sure.
This is the kind of cool stuff that like this is why Tesla is going to be so far ahead, because the amount of things they have scanning right now and the information they're gaining is going to be more than everyone else.
Yeah. Information systems.
Yeah.
Information wars.
Do you think they'll ever license it and sell it?
No.
I think that would be the smart move.
I don't think they're even able, well, in a privacy focused world, they can't even see the data. It's just the cars working with the data.
True.
So
that's what they want you to think.
I want you to believe that anyway.
Okay.
Next headline.
Last one. And this is pretty small, but BMW is the latest to adopt Android Automotive. BMW, the company, basically is saying that in March 2023, some of their new infotainment systems are going to be Android Automotive based. And just to reiterate here, because this is something I just learned very recently, the difference between Android Auto and Android Automotive is Android Automotive is in your car's infotainment system, and your car is running.
It is the car's.
It is the car's.
System.
It doesn't have anything to do with your phone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it can connect to your phone and everything, but it's not running off of your phone like Android Auto is. I think this is awesome.
Yeah. Google needs to work on their naming to make that a little more clear. So we know the difference between Android Auto and Android Automotive. But yes, and that also is funny because didn't we just see that the Polestar, which runs on Android Automotive, just added CarPlay support?
I think that's awesome because that means you're not going to get stuck in it in the future.
That's true.
So people aren't going to not buy a car because it has it.
That's true. I get so focused on the companies that I'm like, why would they ever enable that? But also I'm like, yeah, sweet. I would love to have that.
Android Automotive, Android anything is going to be better than pretty much any automotive infotainment system. They're all terrible. We've said that a million times.
I don't like making blanket statements, but I feel very comfortable saying every in-car's built-in infotainment system is bad, period, across the board. All of them, 100%. So yeah, I don't mind supporting Android Automotive and Android Auto and CarPlay.
Thank you so much for watching that clip. Hey, Zuri. Okay, well, we have another dog in the studio today, Zuri. She's very tired from her first day at work. She woke up. She's looking at us right now. Big stretch. Maybe. Come here. No. Okay. Well, instead of that, we're going to put a picture of her up on the camera right here. Very cute. New office dog. Everyone should probably leave a like and a comment for new office dog.
It was taken on the Minion phone.
Was it? Oh, that's a good...
Yeah.
Zuri's got a lot of interesting colors too, so like you'll really be able to see the dynamic range and the detail. She's just staring at us right now. I feel like she's very ready to go home.
Yeah.
Me too.
Shout out to Zuri.
Shout out. Like and subscribe. And say, comment good girl Zuri.
She just has like the just woke up hair.
Okay, that's enough of this clip. Thank you.